want to say all praises and honor unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, and double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Cleveland Stone. Shalom to all the brothers and out there across the world, pushing and teaching this truth in all sincerity and all honesty. And also, shalom to the few sisters out there. This is a brother from the Jamaica camp. Yashamai.
I want Chapal.
You know, I want to touch upon this China, thing I was here again, hot again back in Jamaica. Because for quite a while, you have back and forth thing have been taking place, with Jamaica, the government of Jamaica are basically our leaders, and America and China for years back, right? It's back and forth thing, right? Because I think about 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, you have America, right? Instead of military man out here. And so he said, even I think even the Secretary of State they come, out in Jamaica, could talk to leaders about China because, America don't want China in a backyard according to what them say, right? So they don't want to tour the Jagan China in the backyard. And the so-called Chinese, which are basically the mobiles, they invest a lot in Jamaica. A lot of them now going to walk on everything, right? So it's back and forth thing, would have happened way back. Now we see, information coming out again. With America don't feel pleased with China, in Jamaica doing whatever do. As I say, right? But all these things is happening right now, in the society, even in Jamaica, they're gonna lead to one main thing, right? The end of this wicked world or this society. And according to what the scripture says, though rich Asia, I'm speaking about the so-called Chinese now, right? In this case now. People say in the second is us. Though rich, they will basically be partakers of the hope of Babylon, which is America. So you might get judged also in the near future. But America going to get it reversed, right? According to what in the scripture, America going to become a desert after this coming third reservoir destruction. Bro? Yeah, man.
The article from the Jamaica Cleaner is 7th of July 2026. It says, China, we will protect our assets in Jamaica. The statement from the Chinese.
Yeah.
It says, Chinese ambassador has broken its silence and a United States back security assessment of Jamaica's major ports, warning that while it has no objection to Jamaica, U.S. cooperation, it will act to protect the interests of Chinese.
Right. We in the midst of this whole back and forth thing now. We out here in Jamaica, the so-called Jamaicans, they're mainly from Chaba Benjamin. We are in the midst of what our leaders, doing.
Right.
This back and forth thing. You want to speak to some brother in Jeremiah 30 verse 12. Yeah, do you want to speak?
Jeremiah 30 and verse 12.
What?
Thus say the Lord, thy bruise is incurable,
God.
and thy wound is grievous.
Right. So Sheba said, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Right? Speaking about our people. In Isaiah 1, I think, and 6, say, from the crown of the head to the sole of the foot, there's no soreness in it, our people. Right? But wounds, bruises, right? Petrifying sores, all the things our people go through, especially from the time of slavery, all the traumas and all these things, even to this very day affecting our people. Right? Our people are the worst mindset now. Degenerate. You can look and see it. Just check even the internet. The things our people are doing, the condition of our people, especially so-called niggas. Right? Continue the scripture, bro.
Says thy bruise is incurable,
And
thy wounds are grievous. There is none to plead thy cause.
there's none to plead our cause. There's no one to basically plead our cause. Because all these nations, all these nations around amongst our people, is hidden. All them, benefit of our downfall. But one way or the other, right? I know they don't care about us. Them see the downfall and them come and them benefit. Them glad. The scripture say in Revelation, right? I think a Revelation in Revelation 11, say them send gifts one to another, right? Saying these two prophets torment them, right? So them rejoice of our downfall. So they don't care about us. The Moabites, right? So-called Chinese, right? Them come and they set up shops out in Jamaica. Yeah, this morning your Jake out here, I say you can count, for one hand how much, so-called niggers have business in the town. Right? So you can go by three fingers and say, I look how much the so-called Chinese and the Elomites, right? And the East Indian them have everywhere you look at them. And them have majority of the business. And this morning Jake complain about it. Because they basically they benefit off how they don't follow. Them become rich, wealthy after destruction of our people. Right? So there's no one to play our cause. Nobody care about us. None of these nations don't care about us. They benefit off our downfall. They're glad to see our downfall. Because going back to, during the time of King David to Solomon, all these nations at one point in time the tributary unto us. All in the tributary unto us. Now them get the chance, to basically afflict us. Them glad for do it. It's people say, because scripture from brother, so go back there that come to mind, Zephaniah 1 and 15. The Lord was a little displeased and them held forward our affliction.
Zephaniah 1 verse 15.
Zephaniah 1 and 15? Zechariah 1 and 15. What title? You know why it's bring up the scripture here? It just come to mind still. Go on.
Zechariah 1 verse 15. It says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are east. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
So them held forward our affliction. So these nations them glad for afflict us. They don't care. Them glad for afflict us. None of them come and say them help us to get us back on our feet. Right? Them glad for afflict us. Right?
Scripture saying, watch for a nation that cannot save us.
Yeah.
Because even right now, Jamaica, as predominantly a part of the tribe of Israel, so from the tribe of Benjamin out here in the Caribbean, and a lot of islands around it, like Caribbean Islands. And basically, the reason why America can actually basically come and tell and say, boy, they don't want China in the backyard. I want it. Because we have all playing the harlot. See? Jamaica play the harlot. Sleep in a bed with America and sleep in a bed with China. So anywhere them can go, to get the money, see? To build, see? Whatever them build, whatever infrastructure, them are going to take it out when you can get a cheaper money. When we don't go to the IMF, we still go to China, Inter-American Development Bank, which all of these countries come under that umbrella also. See? So we as a country has been played, as a people has been played on both sides by these superpowers. Yeah?
But in Jeremiah 30, verse 12, it says restart verse 13, it says, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up,
Right.
that thou hast no healing medicine.
Right.
All thy lovers have forgotten thee.
All our lovers have forgotten thee. All these nations, they don't care about us, as I mentioned. Right? They don't go basically pretend like them come to help, really and truly. Right? They come basically use and abuse. And then chew one side. And then, bro.
He said, they seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, and with the chastisement of a cruel one,
Gone.
for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased.
Right?
So verse 15, why criest thou for thine affliction? So thy sores Thy sorrows is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto you.
Right? Right? Exactly. So you better quote scripture. They was playing the harlot. That's basically what our people are, as I mentioned earlier. Our leaders out here, they're playing the harlot. So them run to China, them run back to America. Even going back, I think about 7 years ago, with Andrew Wallace, Prime Minister, it's back and forward thing. After America won Andrew Wallace, current Prime Minister, about the two-edged jagger in China, right? After a little while, him say forward with China, right? So I play this back and forward thing or this boat thing, for a while now. Now it reached this now, right? Because it kind of quiet down, and now we see it up back again because we're in a time now when America is getting desperate and desperate. No, right? Alright,
Right. It says, verse 16, so therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured,
continue.
and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity.
Exactly. So all these nations, been abusing us for years, right? All them will benefit after, the destruction of large people, so-called niggers, Latinos, and Native American, Indian. People say, all that devour thee shall be devoured. And all that what? Pray upon thee. Our be as God be a pray. So we gonna put all these nations into slavery
Can.
after this coming destruction. This third this third World War destruction is prepared right now. That's what will take place. All them are going to slavery. They are going to pay. All of them been doing it for years. Especially the Edomites, so-called white people. They are going to the worst. According to the scriptures. Right. Yeah, go back to the article.
Back to the article, it says, just don't know further. It says, China and Jamaica are friends who treat each other with sincerity and partners who cooperate to win-win out says outcomes, while China merchants, port holdings, and CMA are CGM Group are shareholders of Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited. The port is managed by CMA CGM um, Group, which is a French company. China Merchants Port Holdings does not participate in ports operations and does not pose any threat to anyone. Yeah. So basically, what I get from it still, because China come out and basically them a defend for them companies because them basically I say what America say them a take over things in Jamaica. So assets and all them stuff. So basically when them a come out and show say all of these places where America say them a control or take over, them not really have no great shareholder in a different company or control it. Them want go do shipment, them share partnership and do shipment through it, like bringing goods into the countries and all them stuff. So America I make it look like some boy is a full takeover China take over. See? So that's why them come out defend for them interest in Jamaica. See? But but these nations, no matter what them do, them not come out and come tell the truth.
Yeah, and
See? Yeah, because all of them have big interest in everything what go on within Jamaica and around the Caribbean. It's all about trade route. So even when you see Donald Trump coming out and come out and say, man, he want the Gulf of Mexico, he want become a Gulf of America, he want Greenland, he want in the region of Venezuela, Cuba, the Panama Canal, have a protect trade route and logistic movements. Because within when a time a war come, see, that are one of the most interests for people protect them. Logistic routes, ship route them. Yeah?
the rich man.
Go on, bring it on.
Benefit of the curse. This is Luke 16 and verse 19. It says, a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, which fared sumptuously. And I said there was a certain rich man, which clothed in purple and fine linen and was fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at the gate full of sores.
Go on, so this is a parable that how shall I, speak going back, 2000 odd years ago, right? The rich man represent who to them. The so-called white man starting, with them banking family, the banking family that govern and rule the society and down. They are the rich man, and we represent Lazarus, the poor of the earth, right? In need of all things. Go back to the curse, Deuteronomy 28 and 48, right? But in need of all things. So we are the poor, yeah, respect.
It says, and designed to be fed with the crumbs which fall from the rich man's table.
Go on.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
And who was the dog that came and lick our sword? These nations, these Eden, they come and set up shops amongst the people, benefiting of, the downfall of Jake, right? Because they're making money. And that's the reason why so much of them even come into Jamaica now. Because they say money can make because Jake support them. Jake, you go back to the curse, scripture say, thine eyes shall be evil towards thy brother. So Jake, prefer support the Eden more than them own, right? So they make a lot of money off our people, right? So the dogs come and lick with sword, them come and them stop shots and them benefit off our downfall. I rejoice and treat our people, bad too. A lot of videos, you see in Jamaica over the years with the Moabites them, they're proud and they did Jake. And the Moabites them make it be known publicly. So they don't like it. Like Esau either where, you'd have smiling and pretend like him in humble and then with you. Moabites make him hatred be known. Openly. Right? So people say the dogs come and lick our swords. Go on, bro.
Right. It says, verse 22, and it came to pass that when Lazarus died, when the beggar died, he was carried up by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Go on.
And the rich man also died and was buried.
Go on.
I can't think of it.
Go on. So the rich man.
Repeat back, what it says, and it says, only does not participate in ports operations and does not pose any threat to anyone. The embassy said, nonetheless, it cautioned, however, Jamaican U.S. corporation should not undermine the lawful rights and interests of Chinese companies in Jamaica, to protect the rights and interests of Chinese companies in Jamaica. It says in Jamaica, China will continue to take all necessary measures to protect the rights and interests of Chinese companies in Jamaica. The embassy also reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening bilateral ties with Jamaica. China stands ready to work with Jamaica to advance high-quality Belt and Road cooperation and expand exchange and cooperation in various areas to bring the China-Jamaica strategic partnership to new heights. It said an overseas-based industry operative, however, argued that the assessment reflects broader geopolitical tension. See it?
Yeah, go on.
You're not covering a port security story. You're covering the US-China war for control of the Caribbean, and Jamaica main container terminal is the battlefield. The operative said, according to the source, Washington interest extends beyond port security to identifying technological Chinese technology embedded in terminal system, including surveillance, communication, and cargo tracking infrastructure. The operative point to the Center for Strategic and International Studies (CSIS) report no safe harbor, which ranked Kingston as the highest risk Chinese operated port in the Western Hemisphere. It gave the port risk score 70.7 out of 100. Yeah. So basically, we see more is what? Okay, as a third war. See? The geopolitical tension. So everybody try secure a piece of the cake, because Jamaica is a very strategic location when it comes to moving logistics. And America basically, I said, China use Jamaica to do surveillance. Or spy on them, literally. That them I say.
Just like how I say out in Jamaica, teeth no long, like we say teeth with long back.
Yeah.
Because two of them basically, they're all about their own interests. America, they do the brute force. But China take a different approach to certain things. Right? Because we see what China do in Africa. Right? Certain country, we fall on them debt, take over certain resources in police station. So we understand know how these mobiles operate. Right? But they're all about their interests. Right? I mentioned about it in the article, the Belt and Road Initiative. Right? So it's all about their plan. But China and America, no see eye to eye when it comes to certain things. I know, them have basically this tension that's been taking place years between them. And you don't feel comfortable with China in Jamaica. See,
America backyard,
it's America backyard. That's why with Venezuela. They already take out Nicolas Maduro. Now they're planning to move on Cuba. Right? So Jamaica now, it look like a we or if you get some great heat or some chaos outfit take place in Jamaica.
Right.
We would say take place now. Right? All the moves that basically I make the aircraft carrier and all these things. The Cuban nurse and doctor were then sent back. Now we see article coming out now Jamaica sent for 50 nurses from Cuba. I'm going to pay them directly. Right? So we see a lot of things that have been happening, basically the past months coming up. So who can tell you what it's going to lead to? Right? One bro, you want scripture?
Is First Maccabees 2, start at verse 7, let's jump to verse 10, which is the point. It said, woe is me, wherefore was I born to see this mischief of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hands of the enemies, and the sanctuary into the hands of strangers.
And now without the hands of our enemy. Me and enemy, hand reading right now is who? The Edomites. Right? The new Moabites, they're moving fast, they're doing a lot of things now. They're so advanced in technology, which they're part of the elites plan. Right? Because the elites them behind the scene pulling all the strings them. Right? So to the regular man, it seems like so-called Chinese are going to basically take over and run things after America get destroyed, but that never happen. Right? The whole lot and Savior Yahushua right? The man will be ignorant because it's coming back to concept what the earth in order. And all these nations are going to get taken down. Tell in Revelation, say the Lord, the Lord and Savior Yahushai went on conquering and to conquer. So all these nations are going to get taken down. So we got next, not the Moabites. We got next, not the so-called Chinese. Continue, bro.
Jump to verse 10 points. So had what nation had not had a part in her kingdom?
What nation
Spoiled.
have a part in our downfall? So any nation have a hand in our downfall. All of them have a hand. As I've been saying earlier on, all them benefit of our downfall. Become rich, wealthy. Right?
Yeah.
Year company. $1 billion year company. What do you think I make all his money from? Half. So-called black woman. Right? You have this documentary you watch years back. You know, this more about looking man. You know what I talk. They want to look pretty and smile. How much money I make. Right? So them all benefit off of downfall of people.
So what nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoil? Isaiah 18 and verse 7, point of verse 8. It says, your country is desolate and your cities are burned with fire and your land stranger devoured in your presence.
Yeah, be strangers the whole land right now. You wish I've been in the country right now. Go on, bro.
And it is desolate and overthrown by strangers. And the daughters of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumber, as a besieged city.
Surrounded by all these nations are surrounded by these Eden. Right? And that's a part of the curse too. Scripture said in the curse, Deuteronomy 28 and 64 I think. So the Lord has kept us from one end of the earth even to the other end, and here our people are going to serve other gods, even wood and stone. Right? So people scatter amongst all these nations, living amongst them. And they're basically oppressing us, oppressing our people, a benefit of our oppression. Right, go on, bro. Finish?
Lamentation 4 and 17, it says, as for us, our eyes as yet feel for our vain help.
See, as for us, our people, our eyes as yet feel for our vain help. None of these nations have left save us. No matter how, Jake hope and pray, one day they're going to have a change of heart. Like the so-called Jamaicans, them dead set and getting reparation from Britain. And you can see that these Edomites now, they start to get frustrated over the whole thing. They start to point fingers at them alone. But about the rest of the nation, them, the benefit of slavery. Right?
Come amongst us.
Yeah.
Get rid of us. And whatever war them start, they no business, they start amongst us. Them no business how much are we? Or to live or die. It's all about their interests and their feelings. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help in our watching. We watch for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled.
Yeah, so the end of this world is near, yo. The end of our sufferation is near. As people say, the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished. You will no more carry you away into captivity. So reach the end of our punishment. Right.
Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Right.
It says, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
And the emblem for the side of the so-called white man is the bald eagle. That's an emblem. Proudest, fly the highest. Right?
They pursue us, they pursue us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
Right. Yeah? It's beautiful. And so with that, we say our praises and honor unto Yahweh. No blindness to the apostles, to the elders and praise stone. Shalom again to all the brothers and last one to the few sisters. Hopefully this was edifying to the elect out here. Shalom.
Shalom.